Hello everyone, Maelstrom here. We got plenty new content in the experimental. The devs wanted to release Heroic Escalation and Portals only into the Escalation build, but accidentally they released the Wound, Warpike Rework and the Primal events in the Portals. As a partner, I could ask many things from devs how things work, what they planning to change or add, so the video will be really informative. Let's start with Heroic Escalation. This escalation will rotate each week and you can claim weekly rewards from it. I'm not sure if they publicly said what will be the rewards, so I would rather not leak it, but like trials you want to do this each week. Actually, rewards will be better than trials, since after a while you will just keep stacking steel and gilded marks, but you can use the escalation rewards all the time. In 10 to 50 escalation, the behemoths have 500 power, while in heroic escalation, which is 40 to 80, behemoths power is 700, which is equals with trials power. The threat level is also increased. In 10 to 50, it's threat 19, while in 40 to 80, it's threat level 20, which isn't a big difference. So basically, you just get like 20 more XP per behemoths. The first round is really hard because you don't have any power boosts active. Power boost comes from the escalation lantern tree after reaching level 5, 10 and 20. Each level of power boost gives extra damage and resist after each round. After first round, each round will be significantly easier, and when you get to a keystone behemoth, the fight will be as easy as 10 to 50 escalation. I really doubt this will be the final adjustment for difficulty. So overall, we didn't learn much about heroic escalation since the extra heroic modifiers, keystone behemoth looks the same, and we don't get any other rewards yet. Aurelia mentioned escalation's gonna have 20% chance to drop their keystone behemoth portal keys. Portals will be a new feature in Hunting Grounds. If you got a key from escalation, you can open a portal in Hunting Grounds to the respective keystone behemoths. After using the key, any players can enter without them using their keys, so basically you can taxi players to the escalation keystone behemoths without taking 6 to 10 minutes to get there in escalation. Also, killing keystone behemoths in portals not just gives kill and break loots, but also gives event loots like sparks, merits, cell cores, rams, so in a weird way, doing escalation gives sparks and merits. In these portals, the devs accidentally released the High Alert and the Primal event. High Alert is just a random Hunting Grounds event just for testing, so it won't be in the live release. The Primal event most likely will be in the portals, but right now it can spawn more behemoths than intended. Right now it can spawn any behemoths which is in the devs database. Some players managed to find Thunderdreep Trask, while I managed to find Torgadoro. I know Torga isn't as big find as Drask, but this means keystone behemoths are no longer tied to their arenas, so they getting pretty close to be released as trial fights. In Primal event there are 4 crystals, each crystal debuffing the players. 0 part damage, 0 wound damage, 0 stagger damage, and reduced attack speed and maybe healing is also reduced. The player can choose to destroy any amount of these crystals, which remove the negative effect from the players, but for each destroyed crystal, the behemoth will be faster, stronger, and taking less damage. So on 4 destroyed crystals, behemoth gets like 4 behemoth blitz speed, so it will be much faster. At the end of the event, it grants normal event rewards and faction currency. Each escalation have their own talent trees, but Radiant Grounds will have 3 factions what the players can choose from, and change faction anytime. Each faction will have different bonuses and different rewards after unlocking higher levels. Right now there isn't anything about factions in the experimental build, Private Hunting Grounds. In experimental it's working fine for a short time, then random peoples can join into your hunts. Probably because the experimental server capacity is limited or something, so I hope it will work fine this Thursday, which is March 11th. Speaking of Hunting Grounds, the new Frost variants will be added to the Frost Islands, and also to at least one of the events. but it seems Skarn just a little bit bugged and literally unkillable. We got some little additions like a new cool looking gear wheel, so you can use more emotes in your wheel and access to it much easier. And now we can open 10 cores at once instead only one. Alright, now let's talk about the real deal. Devs also didn't mean to release the Wound and Warpike rework, but hell yeah. First, the roll dodge is changed into a dance. At least for me it looks similar to Kindred's Q ability. Devs wanted to make Warpike dodge more unique since Warpike is all about style and agility. Also, this dance goes 40% more further than normal roll. Next change, dodge plus attack. This combo is used for interrupt. Currently, the transition takes slightly longer than roll plus attack on the live server, so interrupting with a new dodge takes longer but still doable. But I'm sure the devs will make the animation shorter to match the current timing for it. The Warpike meter also got changed. It got reverted and it will have sections, which gives a quality tier level instead just % based on how much charge it had. Speaking of which, Warpike no longer gives damage based on the current meter level. If you take damage from beamets, it will no longer halve your meter. Currently, it takes 20-22 hits to get the meter to full, which might be slightly different based on the amount of sword reforges and attack speed, since if it takes more time, then meter will decay more. And the new Warpike meter takes 3 full step combo or 2 full spin combo, so the meter gain on the stab attacks got significantly nerfed. But since you can still have wounded parts after break, instead using only stab attacks, so you don't break the part and keep up the wound, you can use stab to expose the wound, then spin till you stagger it, then repeat the process. And you can also just finish off the beamet with a stylish payload, because they buffed the Warpike specials. Payload got buffed from 750 max to 1200. Reckless Leap got buffed from maximum 1200 to 1500 damage. Currently, devs didn't have time to change Wellspring, but it will also get a buff. I suggested them to keep the duration high, like 15 to 20 seconds, but based on meter, it should give higher crit chance. Because I find it more fun to have a long buff, even if it's a bit weak, than a 3-second buff which gives 25% crit chance, which is also not too great. I suggested them to let us load ammo or use Wellspring during the perfect dodge, so dodging through beamet attack, making it more rewarding as it would save a little animation time. So instead doing this, it would be this. But of course, this is just purely suggestion, so it's up to the devs if they implement it or not. And here's the biggest change about Warpike. Step finishers no longer using stamina, so the stamina cost is 0. And just this change solves every problem that the Warpike has right now. Now wound changes. Wound is no longer tied to part breaks. Now parts can be wounded even after the part breaks, making it much better in team. When the part is wounded, a wounded text will appear and it will have a new, more noticeable visual effect. The players who wound the part gets 15% damage, 15% attack speed, 15% move speed, and 15% stamina regen. The base stamina regen is 9 stamina per second, so it will increase it to about 10.5 stamina per second, so nothing big. The devs were talking about reducing these buffs or only the attack speed to 10% because it might be too strong. The wounded part will stay wounded for 15 seconds. Currently, on experimental, the visual effect is bigger and doesn't go away, but the wound is really active only for 15 seconds, so you will have to wound many parts instead just staying on the same one. But how can you get these buffs? The player who wound the part instantly get these buffs for 15 seconds. Other players have to deal 1000 damage on the wounded part to get these buffs. Dealing another 1000 damage to it, refresh this buff. So if you have the buff when it's wounded and keep refreshing it, it will be active for 15 seconds. Then if you refresh it when it's about the end, then you're still gonna have it active for another 15 seconds. So you can have this buff active for 30 seconds per each wounded part. This icon indicates it how much more damage you have to deal to the wounded part to get these buffs. Each number means you dealt 200 damage. After you get it to 4, you have to deal 200 more damage to activate these bonuses. This damage dealt is saved between wounded parts, so you don't have to deal this whole 1000 damage to a single wounded part, but you can deal it to multiple ones, like dealing 250 damage on 4 wounded parts. Also, I mentioned to Proteus, the dev who working on this, the 1000 damage might be a bit low number, so maybe 3 or 4000 might be better, because 1000 damage in 15 seconds, which can be done on multiple parts, feels very easily doable. Anyways, these are the changes we can expect, I would say, in the next 2 months. Well, except private hunting grounds, which comes in a week. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you found this video informative, then please drop a like and a sub. Also, many players were talking about the new Warpike dodge being bad and weird looking and should stay a role, but I really don't agree with this, because I think the new dodge is super cool and the 40% extra distance is really nice for repositioning, so I will make a poll for this. If you would like to see or not the new dodge in the game, please vote yes or no on the poll, or just like my yes or no comment under this video, so I can send it to the devs what the community thinks about it. Again, thank you guys for watching. See ya!